Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I appreciate y'all being here. Today we're going to do a prime graded picanha roast. I had thought I was going to do this for Christmas, our Christmas Eve thing that we do here. I ended up not doing that, and so I need to cook it. So we're going to do it for dinner tonight. We're going to do it on the Kamado Joe, Big Joe 3, and we're going to do a reverse sear is kind of my plan. So let's get this picanha roast ready to go, and we're going to let it dry brine for a little while, and then we'll get the Kamado ready. So let's go. All right, so we're just going to do a little trimming on this, not a lot. So here's our picanha. It's about 3 pounds. I actually don't remember the exact weight, but it's around 3 pounds. And so we're just going to take off a little bit of this excess fat. I mean, part of the great thing about picanha is the fat, so I don't want to take a lot off. But there's some looser pieces here that we're going to remove. As usual, I didn't put anything under my cutting board. I always forget that. But we'll get by because we're really not going to do a lot here. Okay. Well, that's going to be pretty close to it. Maybe just a little of this here. There's a little silver skin attached to that. Pretty good. And maybe just a little more of this fat cap at the end. I think that's going to be pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little more surface area in this fat cap to help it render. So I'm just going to do a crosshatch pattern. About an inch, maybe, something like that. Being careful here because my cutting board is slipping. Here we go. Then I'm just going to turn this and go back the other way. That'll help this render, help our seasoning. Just create some grooves and a path for that fat and seasoning. So there we go. All right, what we're going to use to season this today is just an off-the-shelf Kingsford garlic and herb. I actually really like this. It smells great. So we're just going to do the meat side first. Make sure we get the sides there. There we go. Of course, excuse me, pepper got me. Of course, the traditional picanha is just salt. And I like to do that, but we're just going to doctor it up a little bit more here. And there we go. So we're going to get this back in the fridge and just let it kind of marinate for the next few hours. And we'll bring you back and get the Kamado started, and we'll get this thing going. So we're still a little ways away from cooking up our sirloin cap or our picanha. But I thought I'd whip up a little chimichurri. I've been wanting to do this, and I thought it would go great with this picanha. So I'm sort of cheating. I'm using this Fragoni's chimichurri dry rub / mix. Just going to follow the package instructions, and I'm sort of adding a little bit of my own ideas too. I haven't used this yet, but I have been wanting to. So now is a good time. If I can get the packaging off. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out around 3 tablespoons of the chimichurri mix. Here we go. And I've got the same amount of apple cider vinegar here, so we're just going to add that. Excuse me, spice got me. Again, And we're just using the giant whisk and gonna whisk this together. And we're gonna give it a few minutes and kind of let the herbs soak up the vinegar a little bit. So we'll fast forward and bring you back after it has a chance to do that. All right, so we've given that a little time to soak in. Now we're going to add our extra virgin olive oil, and I've got this Graza. It's pretty good. It comes in a set, the drizzle and then the sizzle for cooking. So we're gonna use the drizzle today, and we're gonna add 2 parts of that. So I've just got a little measuring cup here that I used for the vinegar. So we're just gonna add 2 parts olive oil and then give it a good mix. There we go. And then I just cut up a nice green onion, a little bit of the green and then all of the white, and I'm gonna add that just because I think it would be good. I actually would mind having a little more. We do have more green onion. I may cut up another one and add it, but this will be good for now. Give it a good mix. And I'm just gonna try this real quick. Oh, that's really good. That's gonna be nice on the beef. So there's our chimichurri mix, and we're gonna let this come together. Bring you back in a couple hours when we get the Kamado Joe going, and we'll get this sirloin cap or picanha cooking. All right, so we're gonna get the Kamado Joe all lit. I've got maybe a 1/3 full charcoal, the Kamado Big Block, and I'm gonna use one of these Jealous Devil little fire bombs here to light it. So I'm just gonna kind of put it in the front center. Oops. That'll work. As you can hear, the neighbors' dogs are doing their thing. Just love that all the time. And we'll get some charcoal on top of that. So we're just gonna let that start, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the cooker set up the way I want to use it today. I'm gonna grab some gloves. So we're gonna do a reverse sear on this. So we're gonna put our there we go, our little star accessory there. And I'm gonna go ahead and put one of my heat deflectors down. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our grates down. Gonna use the top. There we go. So we'll do our smoke over here, and over here we will do our searing. I'm gonna wait to put the other grate on, because when I'm done with my low and slow portion, I'm gonna use my charcoal tool to kind of bank everything over to this side to really get that side ripping hot for our sear. So we're gonna let this get started, and we'll bring you back. All right, so we are rolling about 250. I wanna do this between 250 and 300, at least for the low and slow part, or lower and slower. So I'm gonna start backing down the vent here at the top. Gonna throw it about the first line, and I'm not gonna move the camera down, but I'm gonna do the bottom vent. It's now wide open. I'm gonna do it to around 1.5 fingers, 2 fingers at the most, and we'll get this hopefully dialed in about 275, and we'll get our picanha ready. So we'll bring you back. Okay, I've got this Big Joe 3 dialed in right at 250, and that's just going to be where we're going to roll it. It's pegged so tight and has been that I just don't even want to mess with it. So first thing I'm going to do is pull out the ash pan, and I'm going to drop some apple wood in there. So now when the hot ash falls on that, it'll ignite and get some good smoke. Learned that trick from Smoking Dad Barbecue. He is kind of my Kamado go-to. Get that closed back down so we don't affect our temperature too much. And I'm going to get the camera reset, and we're going to get this picanha roast on. All right, let's get this roast on. So we're going to put it over here on the low and slow side to start with. And we're actually going to go fat cap down so we can start that rendering. I do have my combustion ink probe thermometer in there. We're going to take this up to around 130. Then we'll take it off and let our grill come up to temperature, searing temperature, and we'll let the roast cool down. That way we can throw it on without fear of overcooking it. So I'm going to let this go for probably 30 minutes like this, and then we'll come out and turn it over. We'll bring you back. Okay, we've been on 30 minutes, temperature pegged at 250. So let's take a look, and we are going to turn this over, get that fat side off the grate. We just wanted to give it a little time to start that rendering process. There we go. You can see it glistening there. Looks great. Oops. Our internal temperature right now is about 60 degrees. Yep, 59. So let's get this lid closed, and we're going to let this go again up to about 130, and then we'll get this ready to sear. So we'll bring you back. Okay, we're about 128 internal, which is going to be close enough. Oh boy, look at that. Hope you can see that. I had to get a headlamp out, so we're getting close to sunset. It gets dark so early. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and move this onto some foil. Just going to lightly tin it for a few minutes. And I'm going to start banking the coals over to this one side over here. I hope I'm not in the video looking like a dork with my headlamp, but oh well. There we go. So banked on that one side, and now I'm going to grab the other grate, and we're just going to get that on, and we're going to go down low right above the fire. There we go. Okay, perfect. And we're just going to let this thing get really hot. Going to open up vents, and anywhere from in the top dome between 400 and 500 degrees. It'll be even hotter down right above the fire. So we'll bring you back in just a minute, and we'll finish this picanha off. Okay, we're about 475 in the dome, and we are going to sear this off. I probably should have taken it off a little sooner, because I really don't have time to let this cool like I should, to let it go all the way up to 130, but we'll be okay. I'm not that worried about it. This is going to be a good cut of beef, even if it hits medium. So there we go, right over the coals. So I'm going to close the lid, and I will edit this just to show the good parts, but we're going to do maybe 2 minutes here, and then flip it over and do another 2 minutes. You can just hear that sizzle. By the way, this foil is full of just some beautiful beef juice, and I'm gonna keep it that way, and we're gonna put it right back in this foil to rest. Temperature is going up quickly. After closing the lid, back up to 400 and right on past. Shoo, got a little fire. That's totally okay with me. Another couple of minutes here. Temperature at 425 and rising, and that's in the lid, not right above the flames, obviously. Okay, been another couple of minutes. My little pig poker here is right-handed and I'm left-handed. But there we go. Hope you can see that. Looks beautiful. I'm gonna get this in foil, get it wrapped, and let it rest. We'll get everything inside and we'll slice into this bad boy. See you in just a minute. All right, here's our beautiful picanha roast. Looks great. I'm a little afraid I overcooked it, but either way, it's still gonna be good. It's not that overcooked. I really just should have pulled it off earlier. I'm just gonna cut right down the middle. Ha! Perfect. Not overcooked at all. That, I would say, is about a perfect 134, 135. Boy, that's beautiful. I'm gonna cut just a slice right here, about a pencil width thick. That is just great. Fat cap is gorgeous. I'm just gonna take a bite. Oh, that is so good. I was gonna try this on camera. I think I'm gonna skip it, but I am gonna try a piece with this chimichurri, which I've tried just by itself, and it is so good. Hope that's coming through on the camera. I'm gonna try it now. That's possibly one of the best pieces of beef ever. That is so good. I'm gonna get this sliced up and we're gonna have dinner. Thanks for joining me here today at BuQeye BBQ. I hope you liked this cook. It went so well. If you haven't tried picanha, I got this from Wild Fork Foods. They have a Prime Picanha roast. It's like 40 bucks. Far less than you'll spend going out to eat. So good. Give it a try. We'll see you next time at BuQeye BBQ. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Tell me if you've had picanha or if you're going to. I would appreciate it. It'll help the algorithm float these videos to the top. And we'll see you next time at BuQeye BBQ.